I guess just kind of to start, you guys obviously are preparing for a very tough, pass first offense on Saturday, and I was just curious as to, what's been the most challenging part about, studying a Mike Leach offense, with, obviously him being at Washington State last year and just trying to kind of mix and match all the personnel and groupings and stuff now that he's on board at Mississippi State.
The thing that's hardest about his offense is that he's going to always put his players in right spots to make plays. He evaluates his talent very well, and he knows what they can and cannot do, and he doesn't ask them to do things that they can't do. So he does a perfect job of drawing up plays and drawing up things to put his players to maximize their potential.
Hey, JaCoby, it's been a long camp. How have you paced yourself? And now that you're at game week, how do you control that energy, for the full 60 minutes? Obviously, it's going to bring your own energy type of environment. So this is going to be so unique, I guess, to anything you've probably ever done in your college career.
Well, I think we've been in camp for a long time, but I think we're not going to struggle with our own energy for that first game just because it is the first game. I know, last year and the year before that, the first game is always the biggest game and is always the game that everybody's excited about. Why? Because it's the first game. So I don't think we're going to struggle with coming out with energy for that game. And it's also special because we also open up with the SEC West opponent. So there's multiple things that gonna allow us or kind of get us ready and hyped up for this game this upcoming Saturday.
Hey, JaCoby. There was a lot of talk over the offseason of you as a candidate for number 18, and now you're number 7. Just kind of talk about the meaning of number 7 to you, and I guess somewhat your perspective of both those numbers as an LSU player.
Yeah, with number 7, the meaning is really great to me. I mean, that's one of the reasons why I wore number 7 in high school, and when I played AE basketball, I wore number 7. Just not only what the meaning is, but just Patrick Peterson, the things that he did here, and the way that I looked up to him growing up in high school, and you really can even say middle school. I mean, that's what really 7 for me. That's what how deeply rooted I am into that number. And also, like my dad said in an interview a while ago, 7 is a standard that we hold for our family about being complete, being a well-rounded person, a well-rounded human being, not only on the field but off the field. So 7 is really just more than, for me, than just making plays on the field. It's about, it's really deeply rooted into me since middle school when watching Patrick Peterson highlights and watching what he did here at LSU, making plays on the field, but also what it stands for, the number itself. And with the 2 18s with Chris and Damone, they couldn't get it. They did it perfect choice. I mean, those guys are stand-up guys, they're leaders on the team, and people look to them. They look to them for advice. They look to them on the way to go. And Coach O did a tremendous job on choosing both Damone and Chris Curry for 18.
Yeah, JaCoby, with all of the new pieces that you guys are going to have to work in on defense, does it almost kind of feel like you're on a new team in a sense, just because you've had so many guys move on to the next level?
Yeah, every year is a new team. We could return to all 22, but it's always a new team because you can't look at what you did last year because the year is always different. We have new guys. We have new faces coming in, but they've been here at LSU for, at least 2 or 3 years. We have to forget, what we did last year. But the best thing I can answer that question is every team every year is a new team. Every team, you don't carry a team from one year to the next. You can't do that.
Hey, JaCoby, Brooks Kavina from The Advocate.
how many defenses does Bo Pelini know, and what different things do you find yourself doing on the field on a daily basis?
I think Coach Pelini knows just about every defense there is. I mean, he has his methods, he has his ways of doing things, and he kind of twists and kind of edit some of his philosophy to to cancel out some of the things that the offense is doing. So his knowledge of the game and his IQ level is out of the roof. And the things that he has me doing, has other guys doing is some things that I'm learning myself. I mean, I try to credit myself on knowing the game and being a student of the game, but I'm constantly learning under Coach Pelini every single day.
Hey, JaCoby. Obviously Derek Stingley had such a breakout year last year. I'm curious. I mean, one, where does how can he even get better? I guess what are the things that he can still grow at, and what have you seen from him these past 9 months or so?
Right. There's always room to get better. At the end of the day, no one can be a perfect player. And with Derek, he knows that, and that's the thing I've seen most from him is that his hunger and drive to get better. He knows that he knows that he's not where he wants to be. I mean, he's still great. I feel like he's still the best corner in the country, and I think everybody else here feels that about him as well. But that's one thing about Derek that I love seeing about him, that he's not complacent, and he's going to keep pushing to be the best corner, not only in college football, but maybe a year from now, 2 years from now in the NFL.
So after seeing how this weekend went with the NFL, they had a ton of injuries happening. Do y'all have any concerns due to the lack of training that y'all received due to COVID-19 and how that might carry over for the season?
No, because I think we have confidence in our strength and conditioning staff with Coach Moffitt, Vic, with our training staff with Mickey and Gabby. We have total confidence in what they've been doing with us and how they're preparing us for the game. I mean, injuries happen. You can't, when you sign up to play football, that's one of the things that you have to know that's what you're getting yourself into. But I have 100% confidence in what Coach Moffitt, how he had us lift, and how we go into recovery with Mickey and Gabby, and also how Coach O had us practice. We practiced like it was a game day every Friday because we had our scrimmages on Fridays. So that's how we practice, and that's how we scrimmage. Like every day, every week was a game week.
Hey, JaCoby, Garland Gill and Fox State in New Orleans. You had numerous practices and scrimmages going up against Miles Brennan. Is there anything that kind of stands out that we don't see? Or I know Coach O said he has better velocity on the ball than Burrow does, but what's kind of give us a window into what you've seen going against them this summer?
That's definitely one of the strengths that I think Miles has is his arm strength. There's a reason why he broke all those records in Mississippi. I mean, he can place the ball really down the field, and Miles really does have a rocket for an arm. But I think one of the things that's going to surprise a lot of you is that his confidence in the pocket and his confidence in running the offense. I mean, a lot of people say, he doesn't have a lot of experience and all that stuff like that, but how he carries himself in the pocket, how he carries himself as the quarterback for LSU, you will be able to tell that he sat behind Joe Burrow or Danny Etling his freshman year.
In the safety room with the other guys, Todd and Cam coming back and Mo, and then bringing in Jordan Tolles, kind of how do you sum up that room? What are some of the strengths of those other guys, and kind of how do y'all feed off each other in terms of what one guy does well and versus another?
Right. I think what's different about this room right here is that everybody's trying to be a student of the game. Everybody's taking notes in the meeting room. Everybody wants to know what everybody else is doing. We want to play off each other. We want to hide each other's weaknesses, and that's the best thing about this room this year is that everybody is bought in and everybody's a student of the game. That's one thing that we stress in the safety room is taking notes and being students of the game. And I'm very proud of Mo, Jordan's coming along, and Todd and Cam, that we're actually becoming students of the game this year.
Hey, JaCoby. Coach O has said a lot during camp about how much better the defense has been. How would you compare it going into week 1 this year than it was last year? And is there a position group you're excited to perform this weekend?
A group that I'm excited to see is just the D-line. I feel like that we're basically just unleashing the D-line this year. I know in the 3-4 we kind of held them in a box, but I think this year we're really unleashing them and basically kind of seeing what they can do. But I think we're light years ahead of where we were last year, defensive-wise. I think we're going in with a lot of less questions, and I'm just excited to see, like I said, the D-line do what I know and I feel like they can do this Saturday.
Yeah, hey, JaCoby, Doug Mouton at WWL TV in New Orleans. I'm guessing you've gone against Eric Gilbert a bunch in practice.
Mm-hmm.
Is he as good as we hear? What's your review of him right now?
I think that Eric is a really good tight end. I think he's very special, and that's the thing about coming to LSU. You're not going to see a lot of guys like that running around at 6'4", 250, and Eric is not going to see a lot of guys that are 6'1", 220 runner, they can cover him. So I think Eric is very special, and I think that he's going to be a great breakout player, and I think that he's going to live up to the expectation that not only that I have on him, but what Coach O and LSU fans have for him too as well.
Hey, JaCoby. It's a philosophical question. How likely is it for a defensive back to be considered the best defensive player in the country? Obviously, I'm referring to Derek, but I'm talking about you. I'm talking about Grant. Deion just got a job at Jackson State. What's the likelihood of that in today's day and age?
Well, I know back then, DBs just kind of got the stigma of all they do is just backpedal and break up balls, and that's it. When you see in today's game, DBs, especially safeties, are asked to do so much. It's almost kind of like in the predicament I am in, where you don't even know where to label him as. You don't know to label him as a strong safety, a linebacker, or a free safety, because they ask safeties to come in the box and make tackles like a linebacker. They ask him to play man-to-man on a tight end, and some that ask to play man-to-man on a receiver. And then they ask you to go in the post and shut down the thirds of the field, or half of the field, a quarter of the field. So I feel like in today's game, those safeties that are asked to do that can and more often than not are the best defensive players in the country because of the workload and the job description they're given.